And we are live with another week of fantasy football talk. 3 weeks down,
Yeah,
Soto, and a fourth week coming. Oh,
we're making progress, man. I feel like this is going quicker than the 200 movie challenge.
well, that lasted all
That
year. This is just lasting the NFL
that
season.
that thing's a fucking beast.
It is
Oh, as soon as
yes.
I am able to unload that, I'm gonna feel so much lighter. But
But
football is going. I feel like it's going by quick.
we are not here to talk about movies, though. We are here to talk about football. And yes, a lot of things happened this past weekend. We've had some injuries, fantasy surprises,
Seriously.
so to speak. And yeah, we're going into week 4. It's kind of like that will be like a fourth of the season done. And a lot of interesting stuff. So let's start off with you, Soto. How do you feel
Yeah.
your fantasy is going right now? Your fantasy team in our league.
Well, I won again, that's a nice feeling in fantasy. Um, I think in large part that was to Hunter Henry just going fucking off
Mm-hmm.
in the Patriots game. I mean, there is just such a pleasure when you have a fantasy guy and he's on your home team and it's like actively involved like in the scoring of the game, because every time Hunter Henry scored, I was just like, oh my god, this feeling is amazing, because I knew I was eating in fantasy. He scored like 22 points for me, I think.
Yeah, he was up there.
Yeah, so he's a big part of what I did. And Christian McCaffrey has just been solid. Pickens had a solid effort. My boy Baker, he did pretty good too. So I mean, overall, I was happy. I've got concerns. I've got concerns, mainly Chase Brown.
Yep.
That's my concern. I'm not as concerned with Chase Brown as I am with Calvin Ridley, because I feel like I just fell for it again with Calvin Ridley. I felt that he was going to have better numbers with Cam Ward. And so far, the returns have not been there. I'm not mad at Jameson Williams because he's kind of boomer bust. But yeah, no, I've got some holes. I know I've got week 4 this weekend, but week 5, Green Bay's defense is on a bye, so I've got to think about that. So, but to go back, I'm happy to win. I think a win is a win in fantasy, and you're happy how you can get it. Even if you only score 80 points and the other guy scores, I think the lowest guy in our league scored 46 points
Oh,
this week,
last
by the
week?
way.
Yeah, no, I've not seen. I will say
40,
that in our match
46.
46, it can happen.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
dude, that's
131 to 46. So yeah, so I know I'm in 3 leagues, but in our league, because I have Brock
yeah,
Purdy injured, last week I started Flacco, but Flacco did not have a favorable matchup. And I rolled the dice on
you sure
Browning
did not.
because there's not much options. We are in a 16-team league. And I said, all right, if
Yep.
Browning can do mildly anything, I'll be okay. Hard part is I also have Higgins. And this is where, I like my team, fell apart. But I'm with you. You and Hunter Henry, it's like with me and Rome. I have Rome. And when he was just, first touchdown, I'm like, all right, I'm loving this. I also have him in my Guillotine League, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I'm
Mhm.
going to see how these waivers play out. And Brock Purdy may be back, but I just might have to get some reinsurance at the QB. I'll see what the best option is because Browning's playing Denver. So I'm going to
Yeah.
look. And I've said it, though. My concern is because of the league we're in, it's 3 receivers, 1 running back, 1 flex, but also 16-man league. That is tough. That is tough. And I have
Yeah.
no bench help really on receivers. And here's the thing, Soto. Now I started thinking about this because, like you with Chase Brown, right now I'm not there yet. But Genty, I'm like, because I knew I said I'm gambling, and right
Oh.
now it's like, okay, he hasn't been the stud that I was hoping
Yeah.
for. But if you remember when we did the
Uh-huh.
live podcast, I want you to think about this. I could have had basically my team now minus Genty plus St. Brown. Because remember, that was my option
Yeah.
there. And you're like, well, receivers do not win fantasies. St. Brown is pretty much winning fantasy right now. I think he's one
Last
of the
2 weeks.
top. Yeah, the top. I think he's the top receiver at the moment. I'll have to go look this up in a moment. And that would have solved because running backs. I got Hubbard. Fine. Hubbard's could and then I'm a little worried now because I had Krosky Merritt, or I still have him on my bench, and when Austin went down, I'm like, oh, this could be good. But now they're in this timeshare. I'm like, oh shit, I need him to do well so I can sell. But right now I have to hold. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I lost our league. I did win my work league because I have, like, I'm worried about our league, like my team, because buys, like, your Green Bay defense roams
Should
on a
be.
bye on week 5. So that's why I'm trying to find some receiver to slot in, and I'm at a point I'm like, I'm gonna shit the bed week 5. I feel like
It's early to do that too.
yeah. I mean, but what can I do?
Like
And
it's like they're yeah.
but as in my work
Look at
league,
you,
because of
receiver.
a couple of people I've picked up, because I did take Mason in the draft, and he's now the starter of Vikings. I did take Scatabo for Giants, and now he's
Scatterbro.
Scatterbro. So let me just quickly tell you my 4 running backs in my work league, which is a 2 running back, 2 flex. So I got Bijan Robinson, I got Jordan Mason, I got Scatterbro, and rounding out 4th, I got Pollard. I also have LG, and Pollard's been doing numbers, so I'm like, outside.
He's been doing solid, yeah.
Yeah. My only concern now is Jaden Daniels coming back because I have Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold has a Thursday matchup, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, no, I won my work league. I survived another week in Guillotine. My team's pretty stacked. And yeah, there's a couple backs, A-Chain and, like Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams, which brings me now to my first real fantasy point, kind of getting away from this. Caleb Williams. I don't know what has happened to him the last 2 weeks, especially last week. I mean, I know Detroit, they got killed, but he's still at numbers. But he's now the number 3 scoring QB. He's right behind Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I don't know if you watched any of that game.
Different conversation.
Yeah.
Different conversation now. Different conversation than we had a couple weeks ago about Mr. Caleb Williams. I think what you said around week 5.
If the Bears went out, well, Bears went 0-4, they might have to rethink things. But here's the thing. Let me tell you one stat that, and I watched that whole game. I had Red Zone on. I was watching the Bears game. Like, I was just sitting down, like, all right, good. So we talked. Caleb Williams got sacked, whatever, almost 70 times last year. It was like 68, 69, whatever the number is. I don't have it in front of me. He got sacked 0 times. Now, granted, it was Dallas, but there's no pressure, no sack. So you're telling me that a QB that doesn't get sacked, and obviously you're a Patriots fan with Drake May, so you know how bad offensive line is. But when you let your QB sit for a second and think and develop a play, for that 1 second, what he did, yeah. I mean, again, I know it's only the Cowboys D. They're not that great. But yeah, they lit it up. And it was just more like, there's an interview with Ben Johnson, and I think this is where I can appreciate the situation, and I never thought about it. Ben Johnson is the way it was in Detroit. This is the play. Like, he's very designed to the T. Everyone should be in the exact same spot, and I think that's why Goff did well. He's like, okay, because he just does the play, and that is it. Blah blah. There's not much room for something spontaneous. Whereas Caleb Williams has to, every now and then, he thinks on the fly sometimes. Like, he takes it, but he's, when he's under pressure or something, he will make changes. And Ben Johnson's like, he needs to be okay with structure, but I need to be okay with letting him change the play if need be, So he's like, that's hard for me, and I thought that was smart. So yeah, no, I mean, Caleb Williams he'll be the starter, going, like I said, if I was worried about Cowboys, I was worried about the Bears. They just looked like shit, against Detroit. So I was like, yeah, no, I mean, if they go 0-4, yeah, they had to make a change, but they won and they got Las Vegas this coming week. So that's a winnable game. 2-2 is not bad. So, but yeah, Caleb Williams.
I mean, the Ravens didn't look great. The Ravens didn't look great against Lions.
No, Lions beat them. Yeah,
I mean, Lions are a good team. I think they only got smoked by the Packers of all teams.
Did they get smoked, or they just? I don't know if they got smoked, but they definitely lost. It was week 1. I can't remember. I don't remember the score or anything like that. Maybe they did get smoked.
Week 1 scores right here. Let me see.
No, you could be right.
Week 1. Well, I remember it being a bad loss and us going, what? Well, they get smoked, but they lost 27-13 against the Packers. No, I mean, still not. That was not a good showing. But you're right, and that was in Green Bay, and Green Bay has a solid team plus Micah Parsons. So Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But Detroit came back.
Yeah. So
smoked the Bears, and then they they beat the Ravens. Lions are trying to prove that we might have lost all this help. We're still in this, so we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, I mean, it's so early in the fucking season. I think that I struggle right now because it's only it's gonna be week 4, but I'm like, okay, who should I think about trading? There's so much unknown information right now. Like teams are kind of really starting to go. I mean, do we really think that Indiana Jones and the Colts are gonna be there at the end? They look pretty good right now, but it's only week 3.
Yeah. Well, Soto,
and we know how these things can fall apart.
Oh, we've talked about this, but yeah, no. Speaking of the Colts, there's only 6 undefeated teams. 3 in the AFC, 3 in the NFC. Like it's kind of an even playing field. But yeah, the Colts. Who would have thought they'd been 3-0? Bills. Yeah, I figured they had been 3-0. You know that. And the Chargers. Yeah, of course. The Chargers are 3-0.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's having a kind of a reawakening with Keenan Allen of all people.
Well, and McConkey, and McConkey hasn't even gone off, but he's gotten me decent numbers.
McConkey hasn't done shit. Yeah, well, he hasn't done his thing. I mean, no. Keenan Allen's having a
correct
player, like season right now. Yeah, which is trying to get McConkey buy low on him. I doubt anybody's gonna give up on him unless they're stupid. But yeah, it's just so early, right? It's early.
It is.
I can feel that way.
You can.
We're like about to crucify Caleb Williams a couple weeks ago.
Well, I think a lot of
be like, this kid might not have it.
Well,
though, kid might not have it.
When you see things time and time again, you see how an organization goes. And we talked about it because it's sad. Like a rookie QB, like especially in the first round, can't even sit more than one season, and barely even that. Because you're paying them. Right. You're paying them, it's not like in the 90s where their rookie contracts are a lot different and they got them cheaper. Like, okay, learn, then we'll throw you in. Now it's like, all right, you have a fully guaranteed contract. Well, fuck it. We got to go all in. So, I don't know. And like I said, the Bears played well, offense and defense. Again, it was just against the Cowboys. They got to keep the momentum. But we'll see. But I know you mentioned Baker Mayfield. Yeah. The Bucs are one of 3 teams in the NFC that are 3-0. So Eagles and Niners are the others. It's just I never would have thought Colts and Bucs at 3-0.
49ers. Anybody feel confident about the 49ers?
Well, let's see. Yes, because here's the thing. They're going to get their offensive weapons back. Purdy's coming back. Kittle will soon come back. Juwan Jennings has been out. He's out last week. He's been injured. As people get it, and that's where it's like, great, I got Ricky Pearsall. But fuck, what am I going to do
when now? Bosa I think Bosa just had his second ACL tear.
Oh, I'm more thinking offense though. Yeah, defense. Okay. And speaking about injuries, yeah, there was a lot of injuries last week.
James Conner.
I had James Conner my guillotine team, so luckily I have Scatterbro to back him up because I have him on my guillotine as well. And A-Chain just fell on waivers because who lost the guy. So I put in a bid. We'll see what tomorrow. But yeah, James Conner out for a season. CeeDee Lamb's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Mike Evans is out for a few weeks. Yep. And it's just like, ooh. Hamstring. So Baker Mayfield, we'll see. But if you got who's the second receiver there? Godwin, is it? Is that? Oh no, isn't there a new team?
Godwin Abuka?
Yes.
Whatever his name is. But I mean, I don't have another. I mean, I'm probably gonna drop Mac Jones.
Oh, you'll have to.
So 100%. I'm ride or die with him. Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm gonna try to get into the defense to replace the Packers, I can't hold on to Mac Jones, and he was already injured in the last game. So I don't know. I can't imagine that he's gonna come back, but Baker's my ride or die, man. What else am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's why he drafted
in this league. There ain't nobody available. I think, with the news of Jackson Dart getting the start this week for the Giants, that's going to be somebody's going to try to pull him on waivers to try to catch lightning in a bottle. And maybe that helps Neighbors, and maybe that helps Scatterbro as well. We'll see.
So there's basically 3
that offense. Not great.
No, it's not. There's technically 3 starting QBs in the waivers in our league. Flacco, who's playing Detroit. Wentz is still available playing Pittsburgh. And Dart, who's playing the Clippers. So Yeah, and I got Purdy. I got to see, but I might need backup. So I'm like, I can't start Browning against Denver. So I'm kind of just seeing. Again, I'm just going to see how this falls.
Oh God, no.
I don't, but that's the problem with our league. Because it's 16 teams, people are like, well, you shouldn't draft a second QB in bed. I'm like, yeah, that's a 10 or 12 man league. But in a 16 team league, like we are so fucked. Like, let's put it this way. Again, I'm in a 12 team league at work. Let me tell you the QBs that are there right now. Now, I'm not saying these are the best options, but they are better options. So you can go to the waivers now. Hopefully, go Geno Smith, Tua, Stafford, Justin Fields, Browning, even Aaron Rodgers and Penix is still there. Flacco went.
My God.
Yeah. Ward is still on there. Rattler is still on there. Yeah, Mac Jones is there, and obviously Dart's there. But yeah,
what about Kirk Cousins?
All right, so hold on. Let me. Who's he even playing for?
You know who Kirk Cousins plays for?
Okay, Atlanta. He plays for Atlanta.
Because he may be in the lineup in the next couple of weeks.
What with Penix? What happened with Penix? Or just there?
Penix sucks ass this year, dude.
Does he? Well, I know he had a good first week.
They just lost 30-0.
Oh God, yeah, the
Panthers
to the fucking Panthers.
Yes, there's rumblings right now. Now it's just whispering, but there are whispers that Kirk Cousins could be the quarterback for them in October. We'll see. If Penix keeps going this way, Kirk Cousins is going to get real hot on that waiver wire for people who are looking for a starting quarterback, because Drake London hasn't done shit because he's in that system. And I think Darnell Mooney is on there. Thank God I dodged him. He's not doing great on the Falcons. So they are just not in a good place. I'm not sure what Bijan is doing.
Bijan's doing,
losing.
Yeah, he's done well. I mean, basically,
because he's their offense.
Yeah, 24 points, 19 points, 16 points. Even in a 30-0 blowout, he got me 16.1 points. And they play Washington next week, and then they're on a bye.
Falcons are going the wrong way. Going the wrong way, man.
So we just talked about this with Caleb Williams, and now Michael Penix. Their bye is week 5. That's when the Falcons have their bye. If the Falcons get smoked by Washington, which I'm hoping Jaden Daniels comes back, so help my other fantasy teams. Say they get smoked. Will Cousins be there for week 6 against Buffalo? Monday night game. Well, that'd be kind of crazy. Yeah,
I mean, it's getting to the point, because I think the Falcons are in the same division as the Bucs, right?
Correct. Yes.
So I mean, I don't know. Everyone thought that Penix was going to be, because Penix came in for Cousins last year, and then Cousins lost the job, right? If I recall.
I don't know if that's I could be wrong, and it has been a while. I don't know if that's exactly how it happened. I think they were sitting him behind Cousins a little bit because they didn't like what they saw in preseason. They actually did sit their QB, but I think the way the Falcons season was going, and pretty much when it was over, I think they threw him in there the last second half. Now maybe Cousins did lose the job. I don't remember, but I don't think Penix played. Yeah, well, yeah, and he came in and. You know what? I mean, I don't say he did bad. He didn't do good. He just is like, okay. And people are like, well, there could be something there. And that's the thing that you always think. Just like J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, he sat out all last season and he was injured. And he came in and had one good quarter. Now he's injured again. So it's like, okay, we haven't seen much. Is he going to, he's in his second year. I know he hasn't really started. But so, yeah. We'll see. I mean, like I said, maybe they have to sit Penix for a little bit, and they'll start Cousins just to kind of get him back on track, hopefully. Otherwise, Penix could be the first to go out of this class. I know we've talked about this so many times because there's 6, 7 QBs, and we're like, this could be one of the strongest classes ever. But obviously, someone tends to fall. But yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, we talked about Caleb Williams, Drake May. So we'll see. But Penix, I mean, losing 30-0 to fucking Carolina. It's not even like they lost to Detroit. They lost to Carolina. I thought I was saying things backwards.
I'm trying to feel good about that. No, because we got the Pats have Carolina next week, and a lot that we're kind of like, oh, okay, cool. We go against the Panthers. I mean, because they lost a very winnable game against the Steelers. I mean, how the Patriots had 5 turnovers in that game. The Steelers only won by 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how fucking crazy that is. That's how shitty the Steelers are. The Patriots were still in this game, so I expect the Patriots to beat the Panthers. But yeah, the Falcons are in the wrong direction. You said they're going against the Commanders this week.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels isn't officially starting yet because he did not play last week. He's that questionable. We'll learn more. I mean, obviously, I have to keep an eye on this because he's in both my Guillotine League. Oh, yeah, no, he's in my other league. So I'm like, I need him because I'm strong everywhere else. And I do have, at least I have backup. I just, like I said, I just don't know with Sam Darnold having a Thursday game. I might have to switch to a QB that's Sunday. It's just so I can do a switch with Jaden because I don't know if I'm going to go all in on Minnesota, Sam Darnold here. Seattle. I almost said Minnesota. That was last year, but we'll see. He did fine for me. He got just decent amount of points. I wasn't expecting much, but yeah, he's playing.
And the Cardinals are not great.
No, and it's a good matchup, but question is, would you rather
Mac Jones did pretty okay against the Cardinals,
Yeah, but would you rather have Darnold or Jaden Daniels is playing fucking Atlanta. So if he comes in, but again, I can go to that, the waivers and like I said, maybe get someone else, even like a Stafford or just it's for 1 week, because Jaden, it's not like Daniels is out for the whole season. So I have a day to think about it. Like I said, I do like Darnold's matchup, but I kind of just the fact that Jaden Daniels they're playing Atlanta, like if he is healthy, yeah, I'm going to go all in, and I kind of have that bump in my other league because I am technically second overall in points. So like I can take a loss and be okay, but I'm like, I want to keep the gas going on this one. So we'll see. I am, I'm looking forward to it, but it's just insane. I think last week we were just talking about like 5 QBs that are out and now all these big time injuries. It's like, ugh. I mean, I don't want to see anyone get injured, but it's fantasy for you. So
it happens to the best of it. I mean, dude, like, I was struggling through Christian McCaffrey injury all last year. And I was chasing those points all last year. I had to basically put it together, popsicle sticks and glue. I did eventually get to the playoffs. But man, that CMC pick has been haunting me. Right now, the Chase Brown one has me a little bit like kind of kerfuffled, but I do have running back backup, and that's a flex, Chase Brown. So, I do have Scatterbo and I do have Jaylen Warren from the Steelers, who I liked what I saw when I watched him against the Pats. So I got places to go. It's just my wide receivers, like you, they're thin. I think that the best kind of boom bust guy I have on my bench is Juan Thornton, the Chiefs guy. But I can't rely on boom bust guys. I don't know. Like I say that, and yet I have Jameson Williams on my team, who is really just like he's either going to get you 18 points or he's going to get you 2. Depends on what week it is. Yeah. So I don't know. I got some work to do. Definitely going to drop Mac Jones though. I got Kyle Munnan guy too. You're right. He's not doing shit.
No. I think I picked, especially the way Swift looked last game. Like Swift really. Like they spread that ball around. No, that is my guy was just could be, handcuff, but especially the Bears offense does not go through their running game. Even when they're doing well. Like I said, Swift did fine. But they are pass first. It's not like a Carolina, which you want, like I said, I have Hubbard and I friggin' love it. He drop him, Mac Jones. I know you kind of did that as a joke. You're like, never know. And we kind of, he might start. Purdy's, it's not 100%, but you have bigger needs. Like last week, because I always, like I think I talked about it, I always try and look a week or two ahead and just be like, all right, let me get ahead of the game. So I actually picked up the New England defense because I'm like, fuck it, they're playing Carolina because Tampa Bay. I have Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is playing Philly. I'm like, I trust Tampa Bay in a lot of defenses against teams. Like they haven't been outstanding. I mean, I say that last week they got me 13, but Minnesota got me 33 in my other. But it's been 4 or 5. But yeah, I'm like I can't. So I'm like I gotta go with New England. They're playing Carolina. Then I see Carolina put 30 on. I'm like fuck. But I got to take the chance. There's not much in our league, but we'll see how waivers go because obviously I don't know who's going to be dropped, and it's just like you, and just kind of look tomorrow and be like, okay, let me do this shit. But we shall see.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at your matchup right now. I mean, you got the guy you're going against is not crazy.
No,
he's got some bullshit. Javonte Williams is a good thing, but and Saquon hasn't really been that big. But I mean, Rashad Bateman as a oof. And
Yeah, but
McLaurin is
look what
injured.
Bateman did last week. 14 points, 14.8 points.
Yeah, he's
So,
still
but
kind of.
they're playing KC, which is one of the big matchups this week, and now both Ravens and Chiefs. You know, because Chiefs finally won last week, and Ravens coming off like 2 upset losses. Like Soto, Chiefs and Ravens are playing each other. One of these teams are going to be when we talk next week, one of those teams are going to be 1-3.
Oh, the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing each other before?
This week, this
Oh
Sunday.
shit!
And
Yeah, look at that.
they're both 1-2. So I'm just saying, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Bateman actually might be, though not a lot of points. This could be a shootout. And Ravens, yeah, after what happened to Detroit, and obviously first week against Buffalo, we always talk about that with Lamar. Like he's always right there, and we're like, I even said it. I felt like this might have been Ravens' year because I think before all this started, I predicted Philly would win back to back. Like I just don't see a team as well put together right now as Eagles in either conference. But I like if I had to pick out the AFC, I'm like, as much as I keep thinking Bills, I'm like maybe this could be the Ravens' year. And right now they're sitting at 1-2, and if they lose to the Chiefs 1-3, yeah, they could come back.
Going down.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I can't see them going on the road and beating the Chiefs. I mean, it'd be a big win for them. I would definitely feel much better about the Ravens if they went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. I don't see it happening.
No, but then again, the Chargers went to Arrowhead. I think that was in Kansas City. I could be wrong, but anything could happen. But yeah, it's going to be weird. Either Lamar or Patrick Mahomes will be 1-3 next week. Unless there's some random tie. So yeah, that's a big game, like almost a must win for both of them if they want to have a shot. But who would have thought that those two teams would have been 1-3? Yeah, because right now, so Soto, I had to pull this up. Chiefs are technically, because of the way are last in their division. Them, Raiders, and Broncos are all 1-2, but because of the division matchups, they are technically last. Ravens are third. They're only above the Browns. The Browns. I love my Browns. They beat the Packers. Holy shit.
I know.
They just shit their pants.
Randomly.
I was so happy. Like, I didn't expect that. I was like, fuck Green Bay. And then I'm like, wait, Browns won? I'm like, hell yeah.
Browns have a better defense than you would think. I know they're going against the Lions, but Browns defense is kind of slept on.
They are. And we kind of knew that last year. I just think they had so much other shit going on. The hard part is just the matchup, especially in their division. You don't expect. And like I said, Green Bay, we shit on Jordan Love. And this is the reason we shit on Jordan Love. 2 weeks before, he did fine. It's like, okay, maybe he's turning things around. Then they lose to a team like Cleveland. It's one thing to lose to Lions, Detroit, Minnesota, bigger teams, but you lose to Cleveland. Like, if you want to make a statement, you want to say, hey, we're here to make it the Super Bowl, you don't lose to fucking Cleveland. I'm sorry. Any Cleveland lovers out there, I am totally sorry. Not really, but it's true. But
yeah, not the Browns, not that shitty organization.
No.
Oh, no.
Mayfield survived it.
Hey, Mayfield, dude, he's doing good things. I love his game. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their old school fucking creamsicle unis. Never thought I would see those things again. Although it must have been throwback weekend because the Patriots were in their 1980s Pat Patriot unis as well. But yeah, I never thought I'd see the creamsicle unis or the Buccaneers winning. I mean, the Buccaneers are doing pretty good. I don't know if they have what it takes to go all the way. I think Philly, like you said, is like kind of the cream of the crop there. Well, we talk about the NFC, right?
Yeah, just right now, yeah. Well, even you can put in the AFC too.
I know, but let's talk about the NFC. Seems a little bit maybe clearer, but I figure you got to put the Lions up there with the Eagles. The Lions are going to be a good team. I don't know if they have what it takes to beat them, but didn't do well for the Packers. Losing to the Browns. Vikings, I mean, do they have what it takes?
Well, Packers, Vikings, and Lions are all 2-1 right now. I'm kind of looking at the records. Lions actually have scored the most. Packers have scored the least, even less than the Bears. The Bears' defense looks like shit, but that's because of 52 points by Detroit. So, I'm kind of looking. To me, we talked about Commanders, and that depends on Jaden Daniels, but I don't think they're there
yet.
Hot
team last year.
Yeah, they can make the NFC Championship. I just don't think they can beat the Eagles when it matters. So you don't have the experience. Niners are also 3-0, And like I said, right now, I mean, Mac Jones won the last game. And we've talked about this. Brock Purdy is not, he's a safe QB. It's all the weapons around him. That's what makes him great. But he doesn't fuck up.
Hasn't Mac Jones won the last 2 games?
Was he in week 2? Or was that? Oh, you're right. No. Oh my God, I'm a week off. You are 100% correct. I'm still.
Don't be shitting on Mac Jones.
No, I'm not. I know I wasn't.
We almost started him this week 4.
Well,
we talked about starting him in week 4.
Part of that was kind of a drunken joke, and I said, "Hey," but here's the thing, son. I said, "Hey, if he wins 2, and Brock Purdy is out, which we don't know, you're like, will you start him?" So I know you gotta find a D. So do what you gotta do. But my point being is the Niners. They always find a way. Last year, they had way too many. Not just McCaffrey, but hey, Purcell got shot. Kittle was everyone was injured. But these guys are going to be coming back.
They continue to be injured.
Yeah, and
it's like their MO.
But the difference is they're winning. Whereas last year they were not. I don't think they made the playoffs last year. I think they were kind of more mid, but there might have been a possibility, but I don't think they did. But I'm just saying, right now with even Kittle, Purdy, Juwan Jennings was injured last. They're 3-0, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 50. A win's a win. But that division's also weird because Niners are 3-0. The rest of the division are all 2-1. Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks all 2-1. So, but back to your point, Eagles just because they won. I can't see anyone from the NFC North. Maybe if the Lions turned it on because the Lions should have been in the conference championship more so last year. They just fucked up that first week. Niners, maybe they could, but I don't feel confident, and I just go looking, like I said, Buccaneers. Yeah, maybe they sneak in a playoff win, maybe 2, and make the NFC Championship. But that Eagles defense, and their offense, because I think Jalen Hurts finally threw a touchdown pass last week. It was the first all season, and they were still winning. So they weren't looking good. That's the thing. The joke we talked about with the Chiefs, like the last couple of seasons, they weren't looking good, but they found ways to win. So, and I think that's I don't think that team's beating the Eagles. I'm not saying they're going 17-0. I still think Eagles are Super Bowl favorites. So,
yeah, I mean Eagles Bucks is going to be a good game on Sunday. That's going to say a lot about the onions on what's his face on Baker. See if he's got the cojones to beat the Eagles at home. That'd be a huge win.
Oh, he'll gun it out. Game I'm not looking forward to, but I am looking forward. That I wouldn't watch, but curious. The Packers Cowboys, only because of Micah Parsons. How often is he going to go after Dak there? No, there's some decent. And then Colts and Rams shouldn't be a good game, but based on their records, I don't know. Colts could beat the Colts could be 4-0. You could be like, what the fuck?
Colts are doing just fine, man. They got Jonathan Taylor, they got Indiana Jones, they're good.
So, but
I think their defense is okay, but again, it's early.
It is.
I don't know what the Saints' records was last year at this time, but I keep hearkening back to we were like, wow, the Saints are world beaters, and then they weren't, and then they fell off, and we never heard from them again.
Yeah, I think they just had a strong start. If I remember, against the Cowboys, they had a good whatever. I don't even know who they played second, but they had a good defensive stand, and people were like, "Oh shit!" Because I had the Saints D at first, because I remember them the year before. I'm like, they kind of did well, but then you're right, something happened, and now they're 0-3, and I have their tight end, the only person that's getting fantasy points, and I snuck him in there. I actually got him off our waiver wire somehow. I'm like, hey, technically he's a tight end 1. I gotta fucking do this. So. Yeah, no,
you had to do it, man. I can't believe he fucking snuck through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's because of the Saints and people don't trust. But I'm just like even if Taysom Hill comes back from injury, I'm like, he's not going to be a number 1 guy. He'll have his one great week. People will love him again, and then no one will care. But that's Taysom Hill.
Well, so here's my question for you.
Yep.
So we're heading into week 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too early to trade?
No, not if you not. I don't think so. If it's a smart trade, right now, I will say this, and I think I said this 2 weeks ago when Austin Eckler went out. I'm like, holy shit, I got Krosky Merritt, and the way things are going, people thought he'd be the number 1. I'm like, all right, give me 1 week. If you can get numbers, because I was a little worried about Genty and how, and I had Hubbard. Like Hubbard's to me been my number one back, even though he's in my flex.
Mhm.
And I feel like Genty
Well,
still could go off. And I'm like, I'll wait. The question is now, uh, what if I would have, put in a trade, like put it out there, hey, Krosky Merritt, any receiver, tell me what you got. Because again, we don't know where Krosky, because but if you look at the last game, him, Robinson, and McNichols, it was almost even playing time. I think Krosky Merritt got more. I just think Robinson got the TD, so he's gonna have to.
Mhm.
I think him being a rookie might help him still, because I think the coach is gonna be like, let's see what he can do. Because again, we go back to rookie contracts, but the way it happened
Yeah.
last week, I was like, shit. I do not have any trade value with him, not for a decent receiver, because I'm not. I'm a little worried. Here's why: my receivers in our league. I got Rome. I'm fine with Rome. Rome's great. He's now kind of the Bears' number one guy, which I kind of said. I'm like, Caleb Williams and him, because they came in the same draft. He wants that connection. He wants. That's what Caleb Williams wants. No, I'm not comparing people. Just don't get me wrong. But you think Montana or Rice. He's like, I want someone that I can play with for years that they'll connect me to. And he kind of. So I knew Rome would be the guy, but I have Higgins, which Joe Burrow out. I'm like, shit. Like, and then obviously Jamar Chase,
Higgins not looking great.
no, he's not. And then I got Purcell, which he's done well, but again, I go back to what happens when Juwan Jennings comes back. What happens when Kittle comes back? So now and those are my three main. Basically, I have one Carolina receiver on IR just because I held him, and then I got Renfro, which is technically my
Hunter
bet.
Renfrow.
Yeah, but I'm like Rome is on bye week 5. I'm like I need it. I'm gonna have to throw someone in, and I'm like now I have no trade value with anyone unless Kenneth Walker gets injured and I can do something with Charbonnet. Just like no, I'm now worried next week. This week, it is a possible win for me. I know it's like 50, 53, 47. I'm looking. So anything can happen. Yeah. But next week, I'm like, I am going to get so cooked. So we'll see. Like I said, I need to see how the waivers play out and then fix it. But yeah, I am so worried about my receiver situation. And if Genty does not turn it around, I'm as done with the receiver. My first pick doing shit. Just 3 receivers. Once they go on bye, I'm screwed. So, but I got Juwan Johnson. I'm like, I got my tight end situation. Okay. But that's not good enough. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, you know what? Why it's the question is though, who, like, where do you trade? Like, who are you looking? Who has Connor? Like, do they need a running back? Is there someone you can send his way?
Well, the guy who has Connor has Trey Benson.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's literally your little handcuff strategy. They kind of knew what was going to go there. I mean, I don't know. For me, I'm hoping to get some value out of my running backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to spin that into a reliable replacement for Calvin Ridley. I won't get rid of Calvin Ridley, but I don't think Calvin Ridley should be starting on my team. I need insurance for him. I'm okay with Jameson. With CD going down, I'm okay with Pickens. Any trade that I do, I almost would want a backup QB in return just for a bye week purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to kind of look at that long term, just because you just don't ever know. But I definitely, I would like one more wide receiver. I don't envy your situation because you don't have one with T. Higgins. He's just taking up a roster spot, and now with Browning, and I don't like T. Higgins' chances, and your only replacement is fucking Hunter Renfrow. Like, so are you, like, when it comes to the waivers, like this Trey Tucker guy, is this a target of yours?
I'm gonna. There's a few in there that I'm gonna give a shot to, who have better upside, and so yeah, no, it's that, and I'm also I'm gonna have to look at my QB situation. I can't start Brown. I almost rather get Flacco back against Detroit. I know Flacco kind of shit the bed last week. Look at Green Bay, got 4.68 points. I mean, they won. And like I said, the week before I had him against Baltimore, it wasn't great, but it got me 10. So I'm like, better than what Browning did. So yeah, no, I am trying to, because I need to find a suitable receiver to slot in for when Rome's out. Like, okay, can this guy at least give me? Could he? Is the possibility of him going out? Because you're right. Tucker's in obviously the hottest waiver, so whoever has the number 1 or 2 pick, I'm going to assume it's going to go to them. With CD Lamb, Turpin's going to be up there a little bit, but you don't know how that Dallas offense is going to go. So I don't know.
No.
But are these guys better options than what I have? Yeah. So I will see what falls to me. I'll hope for the best. Like I said, I mean, my outside of my QB, my team is set for this week. I mean, I got to roll with Higgins, no matter who I pick up. I have to roll with Higgins, Rome, and Ricky.
Of course.
But my goal now is starting to think about next week because I know, shit, I got Rome on bye. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Who else? Do I have anyone else on bye? Nope, that's my only bye next week. So I don't know how that matchup's going to go. So yeah, I need someone with the. So yeah, if I somehow Tucker falls to me, which again I don't think he will. I think whoever has the number 1, 2, you'd almost have to pick him up, even if it doesn't work out. You got to take the shot, unless you really needed something else. But as we said, our waivers are bone fucking dry. So I don't know. And
they are. Yeah. I mean, I have the number 2 one, but I'm not sure if I want to stretch it for Trey, to be quite honest with you.
But here comes.
Really don't feel like...
So hold on, let me look. So you take a look, Trey. Again, we don't know. Yes, he's not getting 36 points. He got 12 points against New England, only 3 against the Chargers. But if you look, he's playing Chicago, which I don't know. But then it's like Indianapolis, Tennessee, Kansas City. So, but then I don't know if you can hold him to the end. Like if you make the championship game, he's playing the Giants. He plays Dallas, Jacksonville. So it depends if can he work his way up to a number 1 receiver. Yeah, you're right. You have the number 2 pick, so you could save it, and then you'll most likely get the number 1 pick for next week, unless you have something else going on. Hard part is like every week, you're picking bones, and you got to decide like, is this a chance? Because when is your next buy? When's your next receiver buy? Do you know offhand?
My next receiver buy? Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now. My next receiver buy starting. It's not until like week 8.
So you got a little time.
I do.
But now the question, so here's like now train of thought, because again, buys start next week. So that's 3 weeks worth of buys that people like me are trying to figure out. And if that's your first buy, now it's like, okay, what are people going to drop? So it's almost like in your mind right now, yeah, you got the number 2 pick, maybe Trey Tucker falls. Do you think you can get someone better will someone drop someone better than Tucker the next 3 weeks, which you can be like, fuck it, I think this guy. I think someone dropped Booty in our league. I don't know if I saw that in our league.
Recently?
I think I saw. I'm trying to double check. I'm in so many.
No. You're checking the transactions like every day.
No. Just look this morning. Booty's now.
When was this?
He's gonna
today.
He's gonna come off waivers on the 26th, so he won't be tomorrow. So what? Today's Tuesday, 24th.
I mean, Booty's Friday. Not doing shit.
Well,
but he's a number 1 option.
But so all right, hold on. So here's the thing. You said your next receiver buy is week 8, correct?
Yeah.
So Booty plays Cleveland week 8. Now is that something like, okay, yeah, he might not doing shit, but could he go off? Could he get you 1 touchdown against Cleveland and he'd be your 3rd receiver? Like, okay, he got me enough to keep me fighting. Because that's the thing you got to think about. Yeah, he's not going to be on your starting like compared to the other 3 receivers, except for injuries. But when you have that week 8 bye, he's not. If he had a bye, yeah, maybe not. But I'm like, he's playing Cleveland. Can Drake make? And it's in New England, so it's not even at Cleveland. So that's kind of the things I look at too. Like, okay, who has a better matchup? And I think that's why I picked Flacco, because I forgot who the other guy was, and I'm like, I trust Flacco, and that should tell you something. I trust Flacco more at Cleveland or at Baltimore than I think it was Russell Wilson, whoever his matchup. I'm like, I'll take it. And he got me 10 points. So I was like, good enough for the win. Browning just shit the bed, which I did roll the dice. I shouldn't have done it, but I did roll the dice. But is Booty a better option than Trey Tucker? Would you rather have Booty or Tucker?
Trey Tucker's number 2 option on Las Vegas with Geno Smith. Yeah, I mean, it's Booty and Henry right now. the Patriots.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would feel like I'd get more of a value for Booty. I don't know if he gets through waivers though.
Well,
Because
it's
I'm
not till
being very
Fridays.
picky with my waivers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you have the number 2. Now,
Hmm?
this is so I don't know who has number 1 in our league, but let's just say you don't do any waivers for tomorrow. Let's just say you're like, I'm gonna. If the guy with the number 1 pick, and I'm kind of trying to look it up right now, waiver 1, who there goes the neighborhood. If he takes Trey Tucker with the first pick, that's going to move you up. If you don't do anything at all right now, you have the number 1 pick, which means come Friday when Booty comes off of waivers, that's guaranteed. But I don't know if you're looking at, that's a decision you got to make because you got to look at I know you got to look at a defense. You might just wait. So it's just something to think about. It's, kind of like it's anything with fantasy. It's just like, you could put in these waivers and get lucky, but if Booty's your better option or best option, you have till Friday. But if you don't waste the number 2, if he goes for anything with that number 1 pick, which I'm going to assume, like I said, I'm just assuming the way things are, people in our league, you got, unless you're kind of like feeling good about the week, you're pretty much on the waivers every friggin' day. I'm just trying to look at his situation.
Every single day I try to take a look at it. Yeah.
Well, and I will say this, I don't think he's picking up Tucker. He's got Neighbors, he's got McConkey, he's got Metcalf. He's got Diggs. So he went receiver heavy. Yep. And he's got, well, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't say that's right. So he even has a backup because that's where I fucked up. I should have done 4 receivers. I think I went too many handcuffs with the running backs. Like I said, Charbonnet, I think I took too early. I should have just taken a 4th receiver in that spot, and I would have been okay. So, but
yeah, I think we both were kind of thinking that that was both of our minds in that situation. I mean, Booty, so far he's been okay, and he's going to get the targets.
Yeah.
So it might be somebody I target. You're saying that there goes the neighborhood or has all these fucking nasty ass wide receivers. Why the fuck would they want another one?
Correct.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and try to target Booty. But yeah, because Booty would be a nice insurance policy for me because I'm really just one wide receiver away from current comfortability, given nothing else changing. I mean, my running backs, I'm fine. I have plenty of depth. I can mix and match. But yeah, my wide receivers, they scare me. They don't scare me as much as yours scare me, but they scare me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I said, I was fine with Higgins until Joe Burrow went out because Higgins, he got me. First week he didn't do well, but he got 13 points against Jacksonville. So I don't know. Just with Browning, yeah, that's what worries me. I'm not worried about Rome, and like I said, Purcell, maybe he still stays the number 1 option. Just he's not going to be kind of the main option once everyone gets healthy. But we'll see. That's still, I can't play possibilities. I got to play them out. And I'm 2-1, just like you. We're 2-1, which is the good news. It's not like we're 0-3. And those are the teams you kind of want to look for the trades. Just see what they might have.
I didn't see a lot in our league that was enticing. When I take a look at 0-3s. I know in our league, in our division, it's going to drink you pretty as 0-3. And then there's New Haven Ninjas, who I don't even know what they're doing. And of course, Dan with the Midnight Express. He is 0-3. I'm going to look at his team.
Oh, he's got Golden.
Zay Flowers, Matthew Golden.
Yeah, Golden is not. I have Gold in my other league, and I benched him after week 1.
Naylor is better than. Naylor's going to go down after Addison.
Addison's back. I think Addison's back this week. So that's why Naylor's.
Trey McBride. That's a good. That's a good
tight end, but that's just tight end. He's got 2. He's got McBride and Warren.
My God, he's got Tyler Warren. Who does double tight ends in fucking fantasy?
Well, if you look at his bench, he has because he has Worthy, who's been on. That's at least there. That will fix his Naylor situation. But Golden,
he's got 4 tight ends on his team, bro.
Oh God, he does. And 2 of them.
This guy's got fucking. He's the tight end shop. I just go to him and be like, "Who do you want for one of your tight ends? Cause I just need a backup."
He might be. You know what? I don't know if he get Warren because I don't know because once Worthy comes out, he can't. I mean, that's kind of That's the thing, Soto, right here. This guy.
Justice
So
Hill.
he'll sit Naylor if Worthy can play. That's the easy swap. But when this guy starts dealing with his buys, he's gonna obviously have to drive. Like, how is he gonna survive? So it's like, yeah, you can trade, but you want to
Yeah.
make him stronger. And yeah,
God, I don't think I've ever seen somebody with 4 tight ends in their team.
I no, not on purpose, not without an auto draft. I'm kind of looking at New Haven
I've never
Ninjas right
seen
now.
this.
I'm just seeing what they got.
New Haven Ninjas. Let me see. Yeah, New Haven Ninjas, I think, scored 46.
They got three now. They got 3 defenses. They got Buffalo, Denver, and Detroit. They got 2 people in IR. So likely, if he comes off of IR,
3 defenses.
he's gonna have to drop Russell Wilson, obviously, and then oh my God, this guy.
He's got Bashal Tootin.
He's got 3 QBs. 3 QBs and 3 defenses. Yeah, this is why. Because now that CD Lamb's out, he's got to either put in the only guy receiver he can put in, Brown. That Diame Brown from Jacksonville.
Who is questionable.
Who's questionable. I'm kind of like
scored 1 point last week.
Last week. He got 15 points. All right, Soto, we got a comment here. Hold on, Soto. I know we've been talking about our league a little bit. All right, so we got a question. Looking for trade advice, 8-man PPR. All right, listen, first of all,
8-man PPR. How
I would love to
blessed
be
you are.
We're in a 16-team league.
You must have players on your team and shit.
Again, we are 2 goofballs, so take our advice with a grain of salt. But if you want it, just go ahead. If it's a legit, hopefully it's trade, but it's 8-man, it's PPR. Yeah, 16 is that's what we're talking about. Our waiver wires, there's only like 2 backs.
We don't fuck around with 16. It's like Mad Max and beyond the Thunderdome out here. I'm like just begging for guys to fucking like handcuffs on handcuffs.
Yeah.
Fucking lottery tickets. And then 8-man teams are like, oh yeah, I got Josh Allen. I also got like fucking Derrick Henry and like fucking Jamar Chase. I'm like, that's good for you.
But let's put it this way, Tiago.
I'm out here fighting for my fucking life. Tyquan Thornton on my bench, just praying for a lottery ticket to come in. That's my fucking life. You have Hunter Renfrow on your fucking.
I know. Hold on.
Hunter Renfrow away from fucking disaster.
Oh, I will say. Chase. Oh no. I will say this: if you can get Puka for Jamar, correct, but there's no way.
Yeah,
that guy would have to not be thinking. I would not ever give up Puka for Jamar Chase. Puka's, I think, the top receiver.
Straight up right now.
Well, no,
Jamar Chase is,
he has no. I have T Higgins. Because our league is weird. It's 3 receivers, 1 running back, 1 flex, and that's what's fucking me up. And I have T Higgins. So, yeah, trust me. If you can get that trade, I will. I applaud you. But if that kid's not under 10 years old, yeah, no one's trading Puka for Jamar Chase. You got to hope that Jamar Chase somehow with Browning has like the game of games, and the instant he has if he has like a 20, 25 point game, trade him. Or just see who might need him. Just be like, hey, see, he's still doing well, and then give yourself a little depth wherever you need it.
If someone's going to give up Puka for it's going to be a haul. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like right now, that's a buy. You're buying at the highest possible thing of Puka, and Jamar Chase you're selling at the lowest possible Jamar Chase that you can because Browning sucks ass, and what's his face ain't coming back for a long time. Probably not till next year, right?
He might, because I think it might be a few. It's basically the rest of fantasy are close to it. Best case, he'll be back by playoff time fantasy, but by then people might be cooked. I don't know, but he's pretty much out of the most.
I heard Jamar Chase and Browning had a good chemistry. It's just T Higgins and Browning that didn't have any, or T Higgins just really sucks when it comes to backups. Jamar Chase eats. But right now, Puka. Would you say Puka is like an injury concern?
No. He's the number 1 scoring receiver right now. I don't think he's an injury concern. Unless something that I didn't read.
No. But he could be, right?
Well, anyone could be. I mean, you can't play. You can't do.
Wasn't Puka injured for periods last year? Like just the way that he plays.
He did, and because they had Cooper Kupp. I think That's why Cooper Kupp. It was only a few weeks, and Kupp went off, and then when Puka came back, Kupp's value went down because I know I had Kupp in my flex. That's like, oh shit. Hold on, I gotta see So this guy's got Caleb Williams,
Wow.
Justin Fields.
The Bears double feature. Caleb Williams, Justin Fields. That's the old school Bears fucking thing right there.
Running back Jordan Mason,
Uh,
Kenneth Walker, Brees
McMillan, I
Hall,
like a lot.
Hampton. That's
AJ Brown had a much better
yeah.
game.
God
Tuesday?
damn, man. This
Oh
is an
my
18
God,
league.
fuck this team.
If this is a legit team, Soto, I'm jealous. You know,
Man,
but it is 8
fucking
man.
bullshit.
1 QB, 1 tight end, 3. Oh, look at that. 3 wide receiver, 2 running backs, 2 flex.
Dude,
That's a
this
lot.
This is just fucking disgusting.
It is.
Disgusting.
AJ Brown's McMillan, Rowe. Jesus Christ, how big's your fucking bench too? Yeah, Mason was a scorer.
2 running back, 2 flex.
Yeah,
That's not,
so-
I like that. Dude, the kicker thing and the defense thing, I can't stand. I
Yeah,
like the
it's-
2 flex thing all
Well,
day, every day.
That's why I love my work league. It's 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. I swear, so if we ever jokingly start a league, it should just be 2 QBs, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 2 flex. Fuck it, survive. Yeah,
This is
you know
wild,
what? I'll be
yeah.
honest with you. I mean, like I said, you're fine. I mean, like I said, I don't see anyone in their right mind giving you Puka for Jamar Chase.
What are
it
you
would be
trying
nice.
to do? Like,
I think
like,
he's just
I
trying to
mean,
be,
like-
you know, but looking at that, like you're set, you know, especially when you have your bye weeks,
that's the depth.
and if not, even an injury, you got Trey Benson. Like that if that's a legit team, I
For a big running back. I mean, Jordan Mason is the fucking starting running back for the Vikings. That's
Yeah.
a big running back.
and Caleb Williams.
Omari and Hampton, like Najee Harris's career is over, so Najee's going to be starting. Kenneth Walker, yeah, I guess maybe he might get injured, like he usually does. Brees Hall, fucking whatever.
Yeah, Bruce Hall is
And
right,
then
but
you
you
just
got
have, you
Benson.
have Trey Benson, which is James Conner's fucking handcuff.
So you got Jordan Mason,
Trevion
Trey
Henderson,
Benson.
though,
He might
fools,
be.
I mean, I just watched Trev. You know,
Yeah, no, Brees.
I just watched Trevion Henderson. He sucks in pass protection, but because fucking Ramondre and Gibson are just can't hold on to the football, Henderson might do it. I mean, I don't know. Like what
So
running
I'm
backs
sorry.
would be out there to
Yeah.
get?
So let's put it this way. You're not going to get anything like that for Jamar Chase. They're just no way. If you're an 8-man league, a lot of these guys should know what they're doing. My question to you is instead of going after, because I think your running backs are set. Like I said, Jordan Mason with that Minnesota team, Trey Benson. Your worst one is Brees Hall. Kenneth Walker, especially after last week. Yeah. If those are your only
Insane.
2
This
QBs,
is-
keep Caleb Williams. Get rid of see if you can get a better QB than Justin Fields. Because Caleb Williams has some good matchups. I know that might be a hit or miss, but see if you can get a more solid QB. That's where I would go. Because I don't. Yeah, it would be nice, but again, you're gonna have to give up more to get a guy like a Gibbs, Bucky. Taylor's the number 1 running back right now. Again, no one should be trading
Oh,
Taylor
hell
for
yeah.
anything. Bucky Irving's up there. Saquon had, based on last year, but he hasn't had the same year, but still. And then Gibbs, yeah, you're not gonna get. No one's going to trade Jamar Chase straight up for that. If I were you, you have a fine team. I would just get a better backup QB for Caleb Williams, especially because he's about to go on week 5 bye. But the rest of the guys should score a lot for you. But yeah, Brees Hall.
Justin Fields ain't doing shit, right? Like, isn't he kind of?
I think he was injured.
I know
last
Tyrod
week.
Taylor, like, is the,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was injured last week. I don't know if he's returning this week or if it's, Tyrod Taylor's going to play another week. But even when Fields was in, it wasn't like he had it in Pittsburgh where, he's like, okay. He went off for the first few games for Russell Wilson. No, I was thinking last year. Remember how people thought they were going to suck at first because Russell Wilson was injured. Like Justin Fields won 3 out of 4 or something, and they made the playoffs. Yeah, Justin Fields went off week 1. You know what you get with Fields. It's a hit or miss. Then I don't know. I think you can
Fields
still do
versus
better.
Cowboys. Fields versus Cowboys might be
Ooh,
a good
that is
matchup.
that actually, yeah. You know what? He's
But
right.
my thing is, it's so fucking early. Like, yeah, you're starting off 1 and 2. You have a bomb ass team. I think that you have so much firepower. Chad's point, maybe a tweak. Although the Justin Fields point is a good one. But
That is a good matchup.
I don't
yeah.
know if we're in sell mode yet. In this kind of situation, if I had this team, I know it's an 8-man team versus 16. I get it, but if I had this team, I'd be feeling pretty fucking good about my life.
Yeah, you know what? The other thing, Tiago, that you got to think about too is this: you never know injuries, buys, and you have enough where it's like, okay, I can slot it in. And do you really want to give someone a possibility to go off. Like I said, I mean, if you can get rid of Jamar Chase, that's right now maybe your weakest, but he's going to eat some games. It's still Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Browning can throw him a 1-yard pass and he'll run 50 yards for a TD. So he's going to have some decent games. Obviously, Nico Collins, AJ Brown finally picked it up a little bit last week. And I love Rome. I'm a Bears fan, and Rome's the number one guy now in Chicago. So I wouldn't even get rid of him. So, you know what? I mean,
I hate
Rome. That's only because he got the second touchdown.
I will hate Rome.
It's the only reason you hate Rome. But you know what Rome can do.
I watched Rome just destroy my fucking feelings on week 1 and
2 minutes ago or whatever it was. I was so happy.
I don't really feel this. If you don't know who to start, I mean, just play matchups. I mean, I don't know if you want to flip somebody just to flip anybody. And I know, just don't flip somebody to flip somebody. Like, let your team play out. Let's see what happens. And you just said that I'm doing fantasy, not too many fantasy nerds. So, I mean, there's not a lot of risk in trying to see what the fuck happens. Because if you don't have a lot of experience in your fantasy league, then people are not going to know what to do during buys. They're not going to understand how that works. They're not going to understand the waiver wire process. They're not going to understand exactly when to reach and when not to reach in the waiver wire process. They're not going to know they're not going to know much about it. So for you in your position, and if you're the one kind of in control and you know what you're doing, I don't think that you make moves just to make moves. I think you just kind of be patient, see what happens. Guys could get injured, just like Chad said. You have great depth. You don't have any holes,
Yeah, no, I would let that team play out.
How can he not have a big wide receiver in an 8 fucking man league? That's crazy. Like,
I want to see what his waivers look. I want to see how his waivers look.
I want to know what this guy's wide receiver is. It's like, oh my god. Brees or Quentin Johnson type at this point.
Yeah.
Brees.
I mean, like, again, if they don't know what they're doing, I mean, for you, if they did
Saquon, I mean, at least you could buy low a little bit on Saquon, right?
Right now, yeah, but again, it's. Oh my God, I wouldn't do it. But you don't know. You don't know what. And I'm trying to see. The big thing I'm trying to look up right now, real quick, is when. Okay, so Joe Burrow is not. Okay, so Joe Burrow looks like he's not returning in December, so fantasy will be over. So yeah, because if he somehow came back in 3 months and was here for like fantasy playoffs, I actually might keep Jamar Chase because then you would have that for the playoffs. But the fact that Joe Burrow is not returning to week 18, yeah, fantasy will be over by then. So again, you can always attempt to trade. I don't know how you're.
I mean, I like the idea of a big wide receiver for Saquon. Because again, people are kind of, iffy on Saquon. Not iffy, but like he hasn't started off like Saquon yet.
Yeah, but he's still
like Jonathan Taylor. I think would be impossible to get. He's still great and he's still gonna do great, but I feel more like somebody would be willing to let go of Saquon versus Jonathan Taylor. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I guess it depends. Again, I mean, if for lack of better terms, a lot of the people he's playing with are noobs. Yeah, you can get away with it, but honestly, like I said, you got to look at it. You're fine. Sometimes you got to just see where it plays out. If Jamar Chase has a big week, if you don't trade him by the end of this week, and he somehow has a big week, that's going to give you more trade value. You might get a little bit more. But hold on a sec. What is your tight end situation here? I'm curious. 2 flex. No tight ends. Okay, I was just I was kind of one tight end. I had to go back and Jake Ferguson. Okay, I had to. So you're get there with Warren definitely.
If you lose Jamar and get Saquon, I mean, you'll still have Nico, AJ Brown, who's playing better, McMillan, who I really love, Dunze, Johnson. Oh my God, huge. Like just that, I mean, that alone is like the depth is just it makes me want to cry, to be quite honest with you. Like this is just pornographic. So yeah, you could lose Jamar and get Saquon and be perfectly fine.
You'd be fine,
and that helps you out.
Yeah, they won't be fine. I just don't see them doing it. Is my point. I think you ride Saquon for a while. Traded Pickens and Purcell for Brees and Warren last week. He had Bauer, so it worked out.
Pickens, yeah, I have Pickens. You have Pearsall.
I do. In Purcell, yeah, he's doing all right, but like I said, everyone's going to be coming back from injury. Pickens with CD Lamb out might be good for the next 2 to 4 weeks, so that's going to help. I'm not a big Brees Hall fan. Oh, I think I've said that time. I know
No,
he had that one season, but with that Jets offense, though, if Justin Fields comes with him coming back, it might help.
Brees Hall was like a number 4 pick a couple years ago, or if that was not last year,
I think it
I
was
don't
last
know.
year.
But he was
He
like,
was in the top 4 or 5 because the year before he just went off. I think this year he was still a
yeah,
first rounder technically. Like that
yeah.
was the average, but low first round. But like last year, yeah, he was a top 3 or 4 pick. He actually, I think, went number 2 in my league just because someone just said F it, and like I did with Genty this year. But yeah, he didn't do it. But it was
I
the year
like
before.
I like that pick. I like that
I'm
pick.
hoping it pays off because if Genty doesn't pay off, I'm definitely cooked in our league because I have, like I said, at least I have Hubbard as a backup, which has helped, and I got Krosky Merritt. So if somehow we can take control of that Commanders, I will be happy. But that's where my
But
trade
I think
value is.
only like I think Derrick Henry was the only other guy. No, Derrick Henry was off before Genty came out because you came in front of me. You didn't do
Correct.
CMC. You left them.
I was staying away from CMC. I as much as I wanted to troll you because I knew you wanted CMC, I'm like, no, I'm staying away from the injury. The big thing that I gave up and is St. Brown. I could have gone the Lions receiver, which I had last year, but I wanted a strong. I felt like with him being the rookie running back, he was going to get a majority of the touches. Yes, it's the fucking Raiders.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, okay, I felt like he was going to eat like kind of like Ezekiel Elliott did, whatever it was like 9, 10 years ago. He hasn't yet, but things can change. Things can change. So, like I said, I'm 2-1. You're 2-1. So that's all that matters. Yeah, like I said, go for the trade. Like if he trades you straight up, that's a win for you. I'm looking at it from the other end. Like there's just no way I would give up a Barkley, a Taylor, or any of that. Like I said, Justin Fields with that Week 5 matchup, correct. And then maybe after that matchup, see if you can ship Justin Fields and get a better backup in case something happens to Caleb Williams, or in case the Bears end up being like the Bears again, which I know all too well.
I mean, I think it might be he might be in full PPR, and if that's the case, I mean, wide receivers are even more at a premium.
Yeah, no, they are. But again, like I said, with if you follow fantasy and you don't have Joe Burrow, like I said, I would not be accepting any Jamar. Like you would have to take like my worst, and that's just me. But some people might bite. The big thing is what I would say if you're going to look. I don't know if any of these teams are 0-3 or maybe 0-4 next week. They could be desperate, and you might get a better shot. But it also depends on how trades work, because sometimes it goes to a vote and it could get shut down. People are like, no. But sometimes
That's happened to me.
yeah, it does. Jamar, AJ, Nico for yeah. No, I mean Nico Collins. I think he was injured, but I had Nico Collins last year and did wonders for me until he got injured. And I think I traded him for St. Brown right before he got worse. So I was like, thank God. I still didn't make the play. I had so many injuries last year. I had 4 or 5. It started off with McCaffrey, and then everyone was just getting injured. I'm like, I don't even know how I was staying at 500 the first few weeks, and then all of a sudden,
You did it.
I did.
You fucking dude. I remember you. You were up and down, but you were fighting for your fucking life, man.
Yeah, and it didn't
Nothing you
work
can do
out.
about injuries. Injuries happen, and then that's what it is. I mean, with our league, I'm not so much into the waiver, although you've talked me into this booty thing. But I feel like more of the value of what we're doing in a 16-man league is trades. Like we just saw a motherfucker with 4 tight ends on his team.
I don't want
You're
any of
looking for
those
tight ends on the waivers. If you're looking for tight ends on waivers, they're on this guy's bench.
Well, what about the other guy? Another
like,
teammate
okay.
has 3 QBs and 3 defenses, but that's what I'm saying. Now that we're getting to buys, they're gonna have to drop some of these bench players, and that's where your number 2 waiver comes in. Like I said, Booty, because of your receiver problem, might be your best interest. That's what I'm saying. If you don't waste your number 2 pick this week, because I know you're with the Trey Tucker thing, which whatever. Save it. Booty's going to be available Friday. You'll have a top pick there. Booty might be your best option, just in our waivers. Right. So,
I'll come back around again. It's like you gotta time it out because everyone's gonna be fucking hammering waivers. So as long as you take a couple weeks off of waivers, it does come back around pretty quickly. But if anything for Booty, it's just I need somebody for week 8 and a little bit more depth because I got a lot of guys out on week 10 and I got a lot of guys out on week 14. And that is going to be like, how do I prepare for that as the season goes on?
So yeah, I mean, you do have to free up your IR spots there, Tiago. I'm just reading the last
Ooh,
comment
yeah.
there. But that's where someone like you kind of look. Like I said, I would probably get rid of a Breeze Hall. I mean, again, then your trade. I'm trying to go back up to what the people you have. Because I would keep Mason. I would 100% keep Walker. Right now, I would keep Trey Benson, obviously. Henderson. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, and then Rashid Rice. Well, so
Travion Henderson. Again, I'm a Patriots fan. I watch the Pats. Henderson is. I haven't seen enough from Henderson to like. And again, he may just win the job out of default because Ramondre can't handle the ball. I watch them play terribly, but if the Patriots need pass protection, their offensive line is much better this year than it was last year, but they still need pass protection. And Drake May is going to be coming out of the shotgun a lot. You need that fucking running back next to you that's going to be able to read blitzes and help with pass protect. So far, Travion Henderson has not been that guy. So we'll see. He hasn't done anything spectacular to me that would make him, be over Ramondre yet. So more to come on that.
yeah, and to your point, I mean, I might just drop him straight up, But I'm going back to Rashid Rice. The other thing is Xavier Worthy's also getting better. So yeah, Rice is
Yeah.
coming back, but Worthy still might be the top guy. So again, we'll see. And you got good receivers where even if you dropped Rice, I don't know. I'm trying. Because I would not drop Rome. I would not drop. Actually, based on what I see, if it's not Rashid, I might get rid of AJ Brown. But he had one good week. You can see. I don't know. Well, eight man must be great, Soto. But here's the thing, Soto. We're no problem, Taylor. Thank you for listening. 8 man. Think about this like the Guillotine League that I'm in, because this is what happens. Because as you survive, everyone has these waivers for these good players. Like your team gets stronger and stronger every week, depending on who you can add and how much money you put down. So yeah, we're three. I think I told you like certain play like Chase. I mean, obviously we know what happened to Chase Brown, but like first week he was on waivers. A-Chain's going on waivers. So if I survive Guillotine to the top 5 or 6, the teams are going to be insane because that's where like now you're on the cream of the crop. So I can't wait if I make it. But Soto, I think we talked a lot. Thank you, Tiago, for joining us. Hopefully let us know how your 8 man team goes. We'll be doing this every Tuesday unless something comes up. But any last second things you want to add before we get off the air here, Soto, about fantasy? Anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
I'm just, again, I'm definitely gonna sit Chase Brown.
Yeah, you.
I just don't know if I'm going to replace him with Jalen Warren or Scatterbro. I really like Scatterbro, so I might make that emotional call.
I have Scottabro starting on my my other league. So I those options personally, I would go Scatterbro. Scatterbro got me saying that now. But
Scatterbro.
Scatterbro, dude. Yeah, and I forget who are the Giants playing again this week.
They're playing the Vikings. I'm sorry, no, that's the Steelers. I can't believe I did that. They're actually playing the Chargers, I want to say. Los Angeles Chargers.
That might not be a bad start. I mean, Chargers are probably going to beat them and whoop them, but yeah, I think you know what you might. If you had to choose, I'd go Scatterbro over Warren, but that's me. You got time. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe he's just a one-hit wonder.
So the Steelers are playing at 9:30 against the Vikings. Where are the Steelers playing?
Is that the Ireland game?
Is that what that is?
I think so. I think that's the game that's in
So,
Ireland.
like, how do these guys play when they go to Europe? I'm gonna have to look into that.
Well, though,
Do you have a hot take on that?
I don't have a hot take. I just have a quick opinion.
Yeah.
First of all,
Okay.
I don't think that some of them play well. That being said,
Yes.
that's possible because what are they going to do? Well, let's keep it simple and let's just run. But you said Pittsburgh's playing Minnesota, right? Is that I know you just said it, but
Yes.
Minnesota's
9:30. Yep.
defense is fucking insane. You know how the Minnesota
Does it
D is.
travel
Now,
well?
I don't know. I don't know. But just look what they
Too risky.
it is risky. Whereas Scatterbro, that's just the only offense.
That's gonna be
Especially,
his name.
but here's the, it is now.
Scatter, bro.
And especially if Dart is starting. You got what?
Yeah.
If Dart is starting, I would stay away from your receivers. I don't know who the Giants' tight end is. I would start the running back and I would start the tight end because he's going to keep. They're going to keep it safe. They're going to, maybe some screen class.
You don't think he's gonna fucking? You don't think Malik Neighbors is gonna fucking go off?
I don't think he's going to go off, but it's going to take a little time for him to get settled. Hence why a Scatterbro might be a good play. And if he sucks, they're going to do a lot of checkdowns. Now, Neighbors, yes, again, I think we just talked about this with Browning. He can throw a 5-yard pass and he can do wonders with it. We'll see. They're starting him for a reason, but yeah, we don't know how it's going to be. Yeah. But in a PPR league, even though ours is a half PPR, yeah, Scatterbro could get, you might see some interesting. They're playing, what did the Giants have to lose? So they're going to put him in. I think it's a better matchup. They are home, so good. I would go that more so than Warren. Yes, it's an Ireland game. I'm sure a lot of them get rested. They'll probably run more, but it's that Minnesota D. You had that Minnesota D last year.
I had them last year. They carried my ass for a long time.
I have them,
and apparently they carried teams last year, last game, where they scored 31 points. So
I was happy.
Not really expecting 31 points from a D on there. So that's kind of like a win's a win, right? But some people will be like, that's a cheap win in fantasy. I mean, a win's a win. You get, scoreboard don't lie, and nobody's going to be disqualified from the playoffs because their defense scored 31 points one week.
Well, to be fair,
that's just the way it goes.
The way my point system works, they scored 33 for me in my work league. Mm-hmm. If they would have got me 0, I still would have won 122 to 114. So I still would have won because I got 24 from Wilson, 23 from Mason. I mean, it helped. I liked it because in the work league, the top point scorer gets their money back. Then it's like basically the top two split. Whatever the prize pool is there. But so yeah, the fact that I think I'm second overall, but I'm third in points because. Oh, before we go, Soto, I gotta tell you this in my work league real quick. The top 6 teams are 2-1. The bottom 6 teams are 1-2. There's no 3-0s. There's no 0-3s. That's how fucking close it is right now in my 12-man league at work. Oh, think about that. No 3-0s, no 0-3s.
Wow.
So everyone's, it's just, like they say, everyone's a winner. Everyone won their game. Yay. Yeah, I was like, shit, this is intense. So, yeah, every point matters right now. So, thank you, Minnesota. But anyhow, yep, we're definitely well past our time, but I don't mind. I like talking football, like movies and sports and everything else we do.
Foosball.
But yeah, we'll be doing this hopefully again next Tuesday, unless one of us falls ill. But we'll talk about, see if we're right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try and remember Tiago's team here and be like, did Jamar Chase do anything? But I'm looking forward to it. It's another good week.
I'm going to remember Tiago's team. Yeah, I'm going to remember this shit.
8-man. We have, that's like 2 of our leagues. Oh my God.
One day I will grow up and I will have an 8-man team and I will be like, every position is wonderful. I mean, here I am complaining about the picks I made in the 5th and 6th round.
Yeah. Because
I should have taken
matters.
But dude. Now, that pick was Scatterbro for me.
Yeah, that's a good
so it didn't end up that bad.
Yeah.
It felt bad. It was stupid of me, but it worked out. Which I'm perfectly okay with.
But now, yeah, the hard part is now you're losing Chase Brown value. Because I will say this, Soto. If Chase Brown goes off this week, because he might, because of obviously but you have a decision
against the Broncos.
I'm saying if
on the road.
This is
okay.
2 letters.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Yep.
But I'm just saying if he gets that, you can go now to an 0-4 team or a 1-3 team that might need a running back and be like, now you might not get a top tier receiver, but could you get a decent wide receiver 3? Like what would be a flex option? Because you'd be like, listen, hey, Chase, you can be like Chase, and you could do that trade because you have the running backs back up. Unless you feel that strongly about Chase Brown. You're like, no, but that's all it takes. One good
No,
week.
I give him up. I give him up for a wide receiver 3.
No, that's what I'm saying. So Chase Brown somehow against Denver, because, we don't know. If he puts up like 20, 25, I would start shipping him right away and just hope for the best. And you know what? It doesn't hurt. Just be like, hey, put in chat, I'm trading him. Give me your best receiver deals. And you can just kind of pick and go from there. So, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I said this already, but yeah, we're going to get going. Thank you all for joining us, listening. If you're paying attention to this later, it's been fun. We'll be back next week and talking about week